Scott Ross here. A little word on the risks of relationships. Relationships are a risk-reward proposition. The reward is the fulfillment of the need you have for others in your life, both to have your net of support and to be a part of the net of support of others. The risk is the possibility of relational rejection. See, every cord in the net of relationships is built on trust. You share a part of your life with another person and trust they will guard and nurture the part that you share. This creates a true and lasting bond. Love is entrusting a part of your life, we frequently refer to this as your heart, to someone else. The reward of love is when that person cares for and encourages your heart and then reciprocates. They entrust a part of their heart to your care. Think of this as your treasure. We all have a little bag of treasure stored in our heart, but treasure does no good to anyone if it stays hidden, locked away, or buried. The purpose of any treasure is to grow and be useful and multiply. But removing the treasure from your treasure bag might be a risk. You might lose some. You might end up broke or broken. Now we have choices, decisions to make with the treasure of our heart. Do we share it with others? Do we make investments so that it may grow? How much risk are we comfortable with? Now, the safest way to grow a treasure is to pool it together with others and share the risk. But that opens the door to potential loss of control of the treasure of our heart. Loss of control. Now, some are more tolerant of relational risks. They can entrust their heart treasure to others. They can invest in others, pool resources, and not feel as though they're losing control or jeopardizing their treasure. Their treasure bag is always open. Now, others are less tolerant of relational risk. They have a difficult time entrusting others with their treasure. The idea of investments or pooling heart treasure with others brings fear and at times feelings of loss of control. Now, why risk losing your treasure when you can keep it locked away safely, as so many do? What tends to make a person more or less tolerant of relational risk? It is often their past. If you have a history of others guarding and protecting your treasure as if it were their own, you'll trust more. If you have a history of making successful investments in relationships, you'll be more generous. If you have a history of sharing your treasure with others and seeing it grow and grow, you'll share more. If you've had your treasure robbed, if you've had others abused your treasure or treated you or your treasure as worthless, you will clench the bag tightly and you will not take the risk to share your heart treasure based on trust. You won't share it only to have it stolen. You will bury your treasure deep down inside. Now, there are good reasons why you manage your heart treasure the way you do. If you have a history of others respecting and valuing your heart, your treasure will grow. Love seems to come easy. Trust is built quickly. And if you have one bad experience, there is still plenty of treasure inside. If you have a history of others disrespecting or devaluing your treasure, you'll see things differently. If those who should have nurtured and protected your heart treasure, especially in childhood, chose to rob, abuse, or neglect your treasure, your heart will close. Love will not come easy to you. In fact, you might not even know what a loving relationship actually feels like. Look, if this describes you in any way, I want to tell you that I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And you are not alone. Every person has been robbed. Every man has suffered. Every man has been betrayed at some level. My treasure bag was frequently robbed as a boy. The father who should have nurtured and protected my heart chose to reject and abuse it, trampled on it. Yes, relationships are a risk, but I have a new word for you: hope. Hope is discovered in the expectation that your heart treasure will be valued by someone else. Hope is found when your treasure is appreciated. Hope abounds when someone loves and trusts you enough to entrust their heart to your care. What are the words of hope? I love you. I trust you. You matter to me. Hearing the words of hope spoken into your life are the very wellspring of life, the source of your life. Without the words of hope, you will dry up and close down. Without the words of hope, you will isolate. You may even hide your heart. To speak the words of hope to another person's life, into someone's life, is the greatest gift you can give, period. To speak the words of hope, I love you, I trust you, you matter to me, into the heart of your child or grandchild is the greatest gift you can give them. To speak the words of hope to your romantic love will build a strong and lasting bond that nothing life can throw at you will ever break. To speak the words of hope to your friend will build a net for each of you that is impenetrable. You can face life with confidence because you know that when you need support, your friend will be there for you. Look, I desperately wish I was there with you right now as you hear these words. I wish we could sit across from a small table together at this very moment, and I could speak the words of hope directly into your heart. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of trust. You matter. Now, I understand men don't talk like this. I understand this is a little nuts for most of you. I don't care. In fact, I don't give a shit. You, sir, need healthy relationships, and it isn't too late for you. The good news for all of us is this. There is a medication for heart pain, and it is universal. It opens the door to healing. Now, what is the medication for heart pain? Talk about it. Talk with someone who cares, someone who will listen. Now, perhaps all that person can do is listen. Maybe shed a tear with you. That's good. You, sir, need to talk about it. Okay? Please. And let me know how it goes. I care to know.